Hey everybody, where did this so-called novel coronavirus come from? A virus that is so clever it has already mutated from one strain, type L, into a second strain, type S. Is it merely a mutant strain that burst upon the scene last December? Or is it an engineered strain created with a purpose in mind? If it was engineered with a purpose in mind, what might that purpose be? Let me start this video off with a huge disclaimer. This video is for your entertainment purposes only, and it's not intended to suggest that there's actually a conspiracy to create and then to disseminate this virus. The mainstream media has been having an absolute field day with this, and they are creating a resultant panic. Go out and try and find toilet paper or Clorox wipes right now. The supply is getting thin. Some people have enough toilet paper to wipe their butts for the next 10 years. I don't want to add to that hysteria by anyone believing that I have some secret knowledge about what's behind this. I love a conspiracy theory as much as the next guy, so just have fun with it. Having said that, there are some interesting coincidences that are worth investigating. As a planet, we may not be bursting at the seams, but we are causing the fabric of our existence to bulge. We boast a global population of 7.8 billion people. The three top populators are China at 1.43 billion people, India running a close second and almost ready to surpass them at 1.37 billion people. And way down the list in third place is the United States at a paltry 331 million people. We are limited to this one planet, at least for the present. Our beautiful blue marble is covered 75% by water, and only 1/4 of it is available for inhabitation, and it is becoming increasingly congested. As more and more resources are needed to sustain our billions of incessant consuming inhabitants, we require more and more land to both feed and house them. As we cut down more forest and appropriate more farmland in order to build housing, science has been able to keep up by showing us how to grow more and more food on less and less land. At some point, we must reach a point of maximum sustainable population. Some would say that we've already surpassed it, secondary to the poverty and starvation that exists in every country. In order to control its population explosion, China implemented the one-child policy in 1979. It has since moderately relaxed this rule, but it's a clear example of a government understanding that a crisis was at hand. Why did I use the title Infinity Virus and the subtitle The Thanos Conspiracy? No, there is no actually named Thanos conspiracy, at least that I've seen, and I have not heard this virus called the Infinity Virus. It is all simply a product of my fertile imagination. But there has been talk that the virus was man-made at the Wuhan University of Technology with help of an American scientist from Harvard, whom I still will not name, that was being paid $50,000 a month by the Chinese government and who employed 2 Chinese nationals, one of them being a member of the Chinese army. In the Marvel movie, The Avengers Infinity War, the main villain, Thanos, is trying to achieve the power to wipe out half of all life in the universe. He sees himself as a savior of sorts. The inhabited universe is overcrowded and poverty and starvation exist on many planets. His goal is to restore balance by eliminating half of all existing life. It leaves you with a question. Is Thanos a villain or a hero? Is he wanting to do the hard thing that no one else will do to save the universe? Or is he simply a bloodthirsty savage? Now, in his mind, certainly he's a good man, a man that simply wants to retire to his piece of land alone to contemplate what a wonderful thing he's done. Needless to say, the rest of the universe doesn't see it the same way. So what if this virus was man-made? Well, if this is a man-made virus, was it released on accident or on purpose? Either a state-of-the-art bioweapons facility fell asleep at the switch, or someone smuggled the virus out. Either way, the odds against it happening should be quite high. Many countries have biological warfare labs that contain horrors that could wipe out much of our population if accidentally released. A lot of these viruses and bacteria are illnesses that we have eradicated in our population, and we no longer have any form of immunity to, nor are we vaccinated against them. Think smallpox. There are also exotic poisons and gases and plagues. Oh my. However, if someone decided to weaponize those known poisons, gases, viruses, and bacteria, we would instantly know that it was a purposeful release. All hell would ensue. However, how about if the product release was simply a new virus, a novel virus that belongs to a family of viruses that are already well known? What if it could be categorized with a family of viruses that already had 6 different strains, perhaps the family of viruses, the coronaviruses that are responsible for the common cold and many cases of bronchitis? What about the Harvard epidemiologist that predicts 40 to 70% of the Earth's population will eventually become infected with this? What if he is spot on? What if the death rate stays at a relatively low 2%, while at the high end of 70%, 5.46 billion people on this planet will become infected, and 109 million of them will die from it? The Worldometers.com website, a very accurate website which is tracking the coronavirus on a daily basis, shows a slightly different death rate at 6% among the cases that are closed. That would bring the total up to over 327 million. These deaths would, of course, be most catastrophic in the countries with the highest population and the least sophisticated medical care. Not the neat 50% solution that Thanos craved, but very effective nonetheless. There would be less consumption of resources, more to go around, sort of a socialist paradise. There's also a recorded instance of someone getting it for the second time. What if this virus was able to take multiple swings at our population? There will always be an aging population that is most at risk, and more people aging into that category every day. Let me give you a prime example of that. Me. The majority of deaths happen in people that are over 60 years of age. Could there be other motives behind releasing a virus that could cause mass death and illness? Could the subsequent disruption caused by governments suspicious of each other be the goal? Weakening of governments and their military branches could leave those smaller countries ripe for the picking. In countries where they would like to gain tighter control over their populations, this could be the excuse given. Countries that might want to clamp down on gun ownership, for example, not mentioning any names here, those countries could declare a national emergency and insist that all civilians turn in all of their weapons to prevent possible civil unrest and rioting. Perhaps the collapse of the global economy as is presently happening. It could be that someone wants one economy to supersede all others, or alternatively wants everyone on a level playing field starting from scratch, a one world order kind of thing, the European Union on steroids. What do I really think? I think it is most credible that this is a new mutation of an existing virus. Having said that, and in a not too distant second, is that this is a man-made creation that was accidentally released into the public. That leaves intentional release in third place, but really, why do I have an intuition that I don't have my picks in the right order? Is it that, like so many, I tend to forget the history that came before the tens of millions of people killed under Hitler, Mao, Stalin? Do I somehow believe that we've grown past that sort of barbarianism and into a more enlightened civilization? If you honestly believe that, just look to those people who would crash airplanes into buildings containing thousands of people, or push homosexuals off of tall buildings, burn people to death, or decapitate prisoners on video for all to see. If you think you are more evolved, you better remember all of those people out there that would gladly steal everything that you have. Why would an infinity virus be an absurd possibility? So what do you think? Is it possible? Let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching this video. Hit the like button if you did like it, and sub if you're not subbed. If you were intrigued by it, please consider sharing it. Have a great day. Thanks. P.S. I shaved this off and grown it back.